Welcome to Conna Show. Tonight we're stepping into the shadows with 10 terrifying Ouija board videos. These unsettling clips will challenge your belief in the supernatural. Are you brave enough to face what's lurking beyond the veil? Keep watching, if you dare. Number 10. Late at night, Jackson and his friend Stacy are bored. They decide to summon spirits to pass the time. Alice, another friend, joins them and brings the top of a pizza box. Together, they use it to create a homemade Ouija board. It's already past 1 a.m. when they choose a spot to use it. They use a small cap as a pointer and spin it 3 times to clear the board. They start by asking, "Is anybody there?" At first, nothing happens, so Jackson repeats the question. Suddenly, the cap moves to yes. Jackson asks the spirit's name, and the board spells out Susan. When asked if she is good or bad, Susan replies she is good. Then she mentions wanting someone named Danny, but none of them know who Danny is. Susan says goodbye. Even though they could have stopped, the friends enjoy the experience and decide to continue. They clear the board with 3 more spins of the cap. This time, another spirit makes contact, but it isn't friendly like Susan. Instead of asking for its name, Jackson asks if it is a good spirit. The pointer spells out no. Despite this warning, the friends are not too scared. Jackson asks for its name, and the spirit responds, John. When Jackson asks what it wants, the answer is chilling kill. Without any further questions, the cap suddenly moves to no and flips over. Strange noises come from the bathroom, and Jackson goes to check. The door shuts behind him, and the house fills with his screams. When the girls manage to open the door, they find Jackson cowering in the corner, attacked by whatever they summoned. Number 9. 3 friends in Mexico decided to spend an evening in a small, cramped room, trying to summon spirits with a Ouija board. They hoped to have some supernatural fun, but what they experienced was far from playful. As they sat around the board, they eagerly waited for any sign of spiritual presence. Suddenly, the atmosphere in the room shifted. The temperature seemed to spike, and one of the friends wiped sweat from his brow. Just then, a white stuffed bear above them sprang to life. The bear appeared to be watching them, particularly the person sitting on the left. The man on the left noticed the bear's movement and quickly pointed it out to his friends. However, when they looked up, the bear remained still, leading to a brief argument. Determined to prove his point, one friend picked up the bear to inspect it, but it remained lifeless in his hands. Undeterred, they resumed their session with the Ouija board. As they asked another question, the bear began moving again, this time without trying to hide. All 3 friends saw it clearly and were terrified. They jumped up and ran out of the room, so scared that they left the camera behind. This chilling footage from Mexico leaves us wondering, can objects become possessed by spirits, or was it just a trick of the mind? The truth remains a mystery, but the fear felt by those friends that night was very real. Number 8. You don't need an official Ouija board to contact the dead. G Money Gaming and his friend made their own using a piece of paper and a plastic pointer. They were curious about how well their homemade board would work. G Money asked if any spirits were in the room. The pointer moved, showing a clear yes when he asked how many spirits were present. The answer was 2. They were both frightened, but decided to continue. G Money then asked the spirits for their names. The board spelled out Zozo and Mama. These names are known for haunting Ouija board users and are even rumored to be linked to demons.
Zozo. Zozo. Oh my god, dude.
What was that?
What the heck was that? We need to end the session right now.
The board kept spelling Zozo rapidly. Suddenly, something was knocked over from deep within the house. Panicking, they decided to end the session quickly. But as G Money moved the pointer to goodbye, it slid away, as if grabbed by an unseen force. As they tried to leave, the board flew at them, causing them to flee in terror. Number 7. In the city of Hyen, a chilling story unfolds involving a high number of Ouija board possessions. This time, the focus is on Blanca Giovanna, a 16-year-old girl who, along with her friends, used the Ouija board for fun. Like many others, Blanca was unaware of the board's true dangers. Her innocent curiosity would lead her down a dark path, eventually consuming her in evil. It's unclear how many times Blanca and her friends summoned demons with the board. Was it a single, fateful session, or did repeated attempts over days allow a demon to invade her soul? What we do know is that Blanca's possession by the demon Goddard began as a minor disturbance but quickly escalated. Her carefree nature transformed into violent rage in just days. Her family, overwhelmed by her aggressive behavior, had no choice but to commit her to a psychiatric ward. In the ward, Blanca's disturbing behavior captivated and terrified both staff and visitors. She displayed alarming antics, drew crowds of curious locals and reporters, and was believed to have encountered the face of Satan himself. When not attacking, she would shout mysterious satanic phrases and wail hauntingly. Eventually, the psychiatric ward resorted to chaining her to the wall for safety. For at least 21 days, the demon remained within her. Despite the shocking events of 2011, no follow-up reports emerged from Hyann. This silence has fueled speculation that Blanca may have been exiled or even killed to protect the town. The mystery of Blanca Jovana's fate remains unsolved, leaving many questions about the true nature of her possession and its ultimate resolution. Number 6. Elsa Perea Flores High School in Peru has a chilling reputation for being one of the most haunted schools in the region. Rumor has it that the school was built on a gravesite where the mafia buried their victims. In May 2016, a group of students decided to use a Ouija board to contact one of these spirits. What followed was nothing short of terrifying. Shortly after the session, at least 20 students experienced a mass hallucination. They collapsed, had seizures, and vomited uncontrollably. Emergency services had to transport them to the hospital for treatment. But this was just the beginning. In the weeks that followed, nearly 100 more students fell victim to similar mysterious seizures. The episodes always occurred on school grounds, with students from different classes often passing out at the exact same time. Many reported being attacked by a menacing figure, a man in black with a bushy beard who they said wanted to hurt them. Others heard eerie voices and felt an unrelenting sense of being stalked, as if someone was about to grab them from behind. One student even claimed to feel a pair of large hands tightening around her neck. The school's administration tried to combat the hauntings by bringing in Catholic priests for exorcisms and masses, but these measures had little effect. To this day, the malevolent force unleashed by the Ouija board continues to terrorize the students of Elsa Perea Flores High School. Number 5. Can you summon spirits with a homemade Ouija board? If so, a digital version should work just as well. This was the case for an 18-year-old girl from Lima, Peru. Patricia Keyspace used a Ouija board app on her smartphone with her friends. After asking just a few questions, she somehow summoned a spirit that followed her home. Soon after, Patricia's parents noticed a drastic change in her behavior. She began to throw violent tantrums and foam at the mouth.
Según testigos, ella presentó una aparente posesión satánica luego de jugar a la Ouija.
Her voice changed too. It became strained and evil. As she thrashed about in her restraints, the poor girl often shouted the same phrases over and over again. Patricia would repeat the number 6 3 times in a row. She also begged the doctors to give her back her phone, presumably to use the Ouija app again. She was taken to a psychiatric ward for further examination. Whether she regained her senses or remains possessed is still a mystery. Number 4. A man and a woman managed to summon a female spirit, while a third person filmed the event. The spirit, named Lisa, spelled out her name on the board.
Did you push that?
I did not push that.
Seriously, none of you guys pushed that over to the X like that?
Not at all.
No.
You guys doing something underneath the table?
No.
No.
That looked like it moved all on its own.
Then something strange happened. The pointer darted to the letter X on its own. Neither the man nor the woman touched it. The cameraman checked for magnets or strings under the table, but found nothing. There's a quick cut in the video, so we can't hear the next question they asked. Still, the pointer circled and landed on yes, then moved back to the letter X by itself. Why did Lisa repeatedly choose the letter X? Could it be a sign of an old lover or perhaps a reference to her death? We can't be sure. After the pointer moved on its own the second time, they understandably backed away from the board. Did they properly end the ceremony? It's possible Lisa might return for another visit. Number 3. Josh from No Biggie TV is known for his daring videos. In his latest, he decides to test a Ouija board. At first, Josh is very skeptical. He even jokes that if Ouija boards are sold at Toys R Us, they can't be that scary. But things take a creepy turn when a stranger warns him that the Ouija board's inventor sold his soul to the devil, and selling it to kids was part of an evil plot. Ignoring the warning, Josh buys the board and heads to his friend Dave's apartment. They read the instructions quickly and soon start communicating with a spirit named Josh, born in 1921. The atmosphere becomes tense and Josh decides to prank Dave by pretending to be possessed. However, as they continue, they hear strange noises and unsettling breathing.
Besides the kitchen and the dog.
The dumping?
No, I hear some kind of breathing. That is so fucking spooky. What the fuck?
The spirit named Josh warns them that their house is now unsafe. To fix it, he writes, "Burn me to avoid a haunted house." Josh and Dave follow the spirit's request and set the board on fire. As the board burns, Dave's car turns on by itself. Even after the fire is out, the board sizzles and gives Josh an electric shock. Realizing they couldn't destroy it properly, they decide to drive far away and dispose of the board. They say goodbye, but the video doesn't show them closing the session properly. Whether or not Josh's anger will come back to haunt them remains unknown. Number 2. 3 girls are playing with a Ouija board on what looks like a Japanese TV show. This isn't surprising because Japanese game shows and investigation series often feature some of the most frightening paranormal evidence. During the session, a spirit warns the girls not to film. The spirit even threatens to curse them, making the girls understandably nervous. Soon, chaos erupts. One girl sees a ghostly woman, causing the group to panic. In the confusion, 2 girls end up on the floor. The Ouija board's planchette moves on its own, furniture flies around, and a strange clicking sound fills the room. The footage grows increasingly chaotic before cutting off, leaving viewers worried and eager for more answers. Number 1. 4 girls are about to discover the power of the Ouija board. As they ask their final question, they get an answer that surprises them. They decide to end the session by moving the cup in a circle 3 times to clear the board. But whatever they have summoned is not ready to leave just yet. What will happen next?
Oh my God! It's hard! What's wrong? Get rid of it! The sword! Are you okay?
Just before the girls can send the spirit back to its own dimension, it desperately leaps into one of them and takes control. The possession ends as quickly as it began. They all rush in, and one girl cradles her friend in her arms, crying and trembling. They ask if she needs any water, but it's clear that a glass of water won't be enough to help her.